Gary Stokan runs the Chick-Fil-A Peach Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic, which is, by the way, the nation's longest-running kickoff game and reinventor of the neutral site season opener that has paved the way for blockbuster games on opening weekend. I got that right from the press release.
Nice job.
Thank you
I owe
very
you
much.
money.
No, you don't. But
I did give you a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
you
though.
did. I thank you very much. You
You're
gave
welcome.
it to my son because he devours them all the time. Earlier today, I thought I was talking with the man with the best job in sports. I was talking to Bill Hancock, executive director of the College Football Playoff. And then I realized through our conversation that you actually have the best job in sports.
Why is that?
Because you just spent, I don't even know whether this matters or not, you just spent, 2 weeks? You went to Wimbledon and the Open Championship? Is that where you were?
That's where I was. I had a great, memorable trip with my 5-year-old grandson, my son-in-law, and my wife. It was truly remarkable. The weather at the Open, you couldn't get any better. It was the hottest Wimbledon they've had on record for the men's finals. And we were safe in our travels. We were able to stay in St. Andrews, the little town, to walk around. It was, God blessed us with 10 beautiful days of memories for my 5-year-old grandson mainly, but also for my wife and son-in-law.
What did you wear? You were center court?
No, we were, thank God, we were up under the shade across from the Royal Box. So it was the hottest day Wimbledon's had, and people were walking out of there, just red from the sun.
Right.
It was terrible.
But what did you wear? That's what I need to know. Because people get dressed for Wimbledon.
I did have long pants on, I will tell you, and I had a golf shirt on. I think it was a Masters golf shirt. So, but it was truly sensational. We were really blessed. Got home late Tuesday night. Wednesday went to SEC Media Days. It was good to have a home game in College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, and then flew up here late last night to come visit with you. You're a big man. You have your own show now.
Yeah, look at that. There it is.
It's not 99.9 The Fan. It's Adam Gold on the logo. And
Thank
it's just amazing what you've done, where you've come from. You may be the most important guy.
No, I like
anybody that can wear those yellow shoes.
You like them?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. Saturday, September 3rd, you have Georgia, Oregon. And then Monday, September 5th, you've got Clemson, Georgia Tech. You guys have built such a brand with these preseason games and all you do. Just talk to me about where this is and where we're going forward with this.
Yeah, great points, great question. To have 3 games this year with the CFP semifinal at the end of the year that we announced a sellout 2 weeks ago, record sellout. To have the Georgia-Oregon, Phil Steele has Oregon number 10, Georgia number 3, sellout, we announced yesterday. And then to follow that up Monday night with number 5 Clemson against Georgia Tech in Mercedes-Benz Stadium to start and kick off the ACC season in an unopposed TV slot on ESPN. We have sold out that game as well.
Sold out that game?
This is an exclusive. We just announced the sellout. The release may not even be out yet, but Adam Gold is getting a
Look
exclusive.
At that. Look at that.
We've sold out all 3 of our games. 5 of the 6 teams playing in them are in the top 10. These 3 games are 3 of the top 6 conventions in Atlanta, which is the 4th largest convention town in the United States. Over $100 million of economic impact and $6 million in sales tax will go into our community. We'll donate more than $6 million this year, which is a record for us, and we're the most charitable bowl organization in the country out of 44 bowls. So it's going to truly be a record season for us. So we're blessed.
All right. What you guys do is special, and the brand that you have built is special. And when people look at the landscape of college football, it always seems to come back to who cares about the bowls? When you hear that, why should people care about the bowls?
Well, what I care most is, us being able to use football to give back. We've donated $60 million since 2002 through college football games. We gave $20 million to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta to start the Peach Bowl Legacy Fund to fund now 7 trials that have 12 kids in them to eradicate childhood cancer. That's what I care about. What other people say doesn't bother me. We control what we control. We're going to give back to college football by moving the College Football Hall of Fame to Atlanta and building it, sustaining it. We're going to give back, $60 million since 2002, and we're going to create opportunities for student athletes to have experiences like listening to Congressman Lewis and C.T. Vivian and Ambassador Young in Ebenezer Baptist Church here about civil rights. We're going to take them through the College Football Hall of Fame and have them dream about being inducted in that Hall of Fame as a Hall of Famer 15 years from now, to aspire to be that. We're going to give fans a unique first-class experience through our tailgate towns, through our experience at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So, you control what you can control, and hopefully we can put our arms somehow around what's going on in college football and make it better moving forward. I have some concerns big time about what's going on. I think our kickoff games are in danger of not existing in the future, but that's okay if that's what's best for college football.
All right, we're going to get to those concerns in a second. I just want to know, should NC State fans already be booking hotels for New Year's Eve in Atlanta?
From your lips to God's ears, I'll save them a lot of hotel rooms.
All right.
Obviously Dave Doran's a good friend, and NC State's where my heart is. I owe them a debt of gratitude for giving me my education and letting me start my life debt-free, and so many good Wolfpack fans out there that I love that have been so good to me. But, this is the year for NC State with who they have coming back, 2 great coordinators, a quarterback that's one of the best in the country, a defense that's really strong. This is the year for NC State, and, obviously I root for NC State, and I root for Dave Doran. I root for other coaches more so than I root for programs.
Yep.
I've got to be neutral, but would love to find a way if NC State could get to our bowl game before I retire. I've had them in the kickoff game once, but they've never been in our bowl game, and they've been in our Peach Bowl in history more times than I think anybody but Clemson. So it'd be great to end my career over the next few years here having NC State in our game.
Gary Stokan, Executive Director of the Chick-Fil-A Peach Bowl, Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic, is joining us here. All right, to your concerns, are your concerns that 2 conferences are going to grow so big, meaning that they're not done at this point, that it's going to eliminate the need for any non-conference games? They will just play each other. So explain what you mean about your concerns as it pertains to the elimination of the kickoff games.
Not to denigrate any presidents or commissioners or ADs or anybody, but my concern is holistically about what are we doing? Are we in the education business, or are we in the business of sports business?
Right.
Let's declare and let's move forward. You can't be both. If we're in the education business, give you an example. My concern on collectives. Collectives shouldn't exist, and donor money shouldn't exist to pay kids to come to that university in a pay-for-play scheme. Those collectives should be available so that when that kid, student athlete, whatever you want to call them, goes to that university, gets his degree, then that collective should be there to give him a job. That's what those collectives should be doing. Not paying kids on the front side to come there, but be there on the back side so that volleyball player at NC State, when she graduates, she has a job.
Okay.
Because that's what we're in the business of, educating kids and making them citizens in the United States or wherever to give something back to society, right? We keep looking at the 2% instead of the 98%, which I was a part of, right? Where's the conversation with the NFL? When Kenny Pickett can be a first-team All-American and not play in our bowl game because the NFL gives him a draft card of a first-round pick, and he can't play in his bowl game because he's worried about getting hurt. Where are they with an insurance program to say, hey, Kenny, we're gonna pay you a lot of money in the NFL, and here, go play in your bowl game. You got an insurance program that takes care of you. So if you do get hurt, you've made your money in the insurance program. Where's that dialogue taking place? Where's the dialogue that we're the second most favorite sport by fans?
Yep, that is true.
The NFL is number one by a far, far distant place. They're making over $10 billion in TV revenues. We collectively in college football will make about $1 billion.
Right.
That's too much of a gap, right? We would be better, as we learned in business school, of 1 + 1 equaling 3, rather than 1 - 1 equaling -2, which is what we're doing individually with these conferences. We need to get united around a conference a college football commissioner,
Sure.
a college basketball commissioner, an Olympic sport commissioner, and a college baseball commissioner, and have them develop a board that is made up of ADs and commissioners who know that sport. Let them create a vision of the sport, break them out of the NCAA, and have that sport run their own rules and their own regulations, enforcement, and move that sport forward with some vision in basketball and football and baseball and Olympic sports. That's my thought that we should be doing, instead of UCLA being $100 million in debt, running from the Pac-12, which they've been in for 85 years,
Right.
and going to the Big Ten, just like Maryland did.
Absolutely.
That's wrong.
Maryland was also in financial
What are we
trouble.
teaching
Right.
kids, right? But yeah, we're talking about student athletes' welfare, but we're going to have them travel from UCLA to Rutgers to play a lacrosse match and take up 3 days and travel. And, hey, they're in school, right? Let's get them an education. Let's get them a job afterwards, and that's the business we should be in instead of professional sports.
Let me close on this with Gary Stokan from the Peach Bowl. I asked this of Jim Phillips. Based on everything that's happened over the last, let's just say 12 months, how can the leaders of these conferences, how can there be trust when Greg Sankey and Bob Bowlesby are sitting across from each other while at the same time Texas and Oklahoma are leaving the Big 12 for the SEC? We had this alliance, and the Big Ten adds UCLA and USC. Jim's answer was, it's business. I still don't know that how can there be trust? How can we trust everybody to work together?
Well, what are we saying to our student athletes, right? These are grown men doing things, and I don't blame Bob Bowlesby or Greg Sankey in the instances you brought up. It's the presidents of universities who have asked to be the leaders of the NCAA. There's no leadership in the NCAA. We're where we're at because of the lack of leadership. Presidents do great jobs in universities. They have too much going on to know sports. That's why they hire an AD, right? But they need to get out of the way because they can't lead because they don't know the sport. They don't have time to know the sport. God bless them. I'm not denigrating them. I'm not denigrating the commissioners. But you need a focused leadership. You need a breakaway from the NCAA. You can't have schools that don't play football voting on things that might impact schools that play big-time football.
Do play football, yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, the presidents, need to give up the leadership. To lead, you need to be able to create a vision, and you have to be willing to take heat. God bless the presidents. They don't want the heat, and they don't know the sport, so they can't create a vision. Again, not denigrating them. It's the reality of their job. Greg Sankey is doing what's best interest of the SEC because that's who he's paid by, the presidents. What we all need to do is get on the same page collectively together and say, we're college football, here's where we're going to go. We're college basketball, here's where we're going to go. We're Olympic sports. Olympic sports, 80% of athletes in the Olympic teams to represent this country come from the universities.
Yep.
What's going to happen to them? We need to have somebody focused on the Olympic sports and move them forward collectively together. And it may be that they break up into working under the NGB rules. Who knows? But we need people focused. That's the way you have to run the business. And you can't run a business with 5 different conferences and 550 other schools trying to make a decision. Everybody has different needs.
Yeah.
Basketball has different needs than football. Football, different needs from Olympic sports. So if we're in the business of sport, let's say we're in the business of sports and run it like a business. If we're in the business of education, let's get the kids educated, look out for their student-athlete welfare, mental health, etc., and then let's get them a job afterwards. That's what we should be focused on.
All right, I'll see you New Year's Eve with the Wolfpack at the Peach Bowl.
As I said, from your lips to God's ears.
Gary
Great
Stokan.
to be with you.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on your
Oh.
your new show, and all
Thank
the
you.
best.